Hello my beautiful hammerhead and welcome back to another video. This is Warhammer Age of Sigmar Chronicles number 1, Gates of Azyr. And this is going to be a long series in which we together will discover the mostly complete lore of Age of Sigmar from the beginning. And as Gates of Azyr, written by Chris Wraith, is the first publication, we're going to do this, well, in our first video. And you will find all the notes I have written in the description box down below. It's a Google document, so you can look at it whenever you want. We can fix it in post if I have something wrong in there. But as this is going to be for every video, this is the only time I'm going to tell you about this. As Gates of Azyr is not that long of a story, and yeah, this is also not going to be a review of the books or whatsoever. It's just what's in there, so we can fill gaps in our knowledge together. So let's begin. It begins with the prologue, of course. And, well, we have the old world ended, got destroyed. 8 new realms. 8 new realms are being conjured into existence. But after the Age of Myth, we know, because nothing good can ever be, well, be forever, the Age of Chaos begins. And in this time, Sigmar pictured a weapon that could pierce the darkness of chaos, and so he set his artisans to work. And we already know that these weapons are the Stormcast Eternals. Then we get into Chapter 1. Here we are being introduced to Vendus Hammerhand, who was the first to arrive in the mortal realms. He's the Lord Celestant, one of the Lord Celestants of the Hammers of Sigmar Storm host. And yeah, well, we get to see him in Azyr on how his small warband gets ready to be teleported at, yeah, well, at the Realm Gate in Akshi. And he reminisces here a little bit. Age of Chaos, probably 1,000 years long. We will have to wait and see for more information onto that. And what we get to know is that Dracoths, so like his mount, have a shard of, well, their immortal descendancy in them. Not descendancy, their grandparents. Then we have Chapter 2, we have a couple of villagers running away from Khornets, so Khorn followers of, yeah, well, in Akshi, because the whole realm is ruined by Khorn. And living in this time means you have an expected lifetime of maybe 2 decades, if you're lucky 3 decades. So yeah, you're being hunted forever. Then we have Chapter 3, where we get to know a little bit of Chaos influence, because the Chaos followers, especially, as I've said, the Khorn followers, are chanting their stuff like blood for the blood god and so on. And this comes naturally, because at this point they don't have priests, no one is teaching it, but they just know. So the influence of Chaos is a little bit everywhere. We get to know Corvus Cool, who is our main antagonist here. And yeah, well, as he looks in the sky, because it's thundery and so on, the Stormcasts are a little bit visible in the thunderstorm. And we're being introduced to his Gore-Tide, so this is basically his warband. We have Rek the Flayer, Bloodstoker, and his Korgorath named Skulldrag. Then Cool reminisces a little bit on his past battles and how he collected the skulls of his mightiest kills. Then we get to know Threk's Skullbrand, the Bloodsecrator, who got his banner gifted by Khorn as a reward. And we get to know that Cool already has 7 skulls, but needs a worthy opponent for, well, the 8th tribute. Because we know that he wants immortality, he wants to become a demon prince. And yeah, there is something else that is being told us here, but I'm gonna tell you that at the end of the video. Because there is his Fleshhound Grizzlemore, which was also a gift from Khorne. He found his axe in a tower, but this is, as of now, not important. Then we get to chapter 4. We're almost halfway through with the story. A circle forms in the sky, and this is when the Stormcasts are preparing to come down from Azyr. And the Chaos followers and the villagers are perceiving it as something demonic, so it's really interesting to see on how they perceive each other. Yeah, Cool wants to become a demon prince, I already talked about this, but Vandus and Cool met on the battlefield, and they meet on the battlefield, and Cool knows that Hammerhand is his next target, so they're kinda drifting together a little bit. But they're still very far away. They just see each other from that afar. And the first hints are being dropped that Vandus has visions, which makes him special in the Stormcasts, in the Stormcast Eternals faction. When the Stormcasts are being thrown down from Azyr to Akshi, there he sees a little bit of his former life, including his wife, so these are the visions he gets. And the plan of the Stormcast is pretty basic right now, because we're still in the Age of Chaos, by the way. With a small warband, they have to fight off the Godhide and open the Realm Gate that leads to Azyr from this side, as the gate has to be activated from both sides at once. So yeah. And at this point, Vandus remembers his mortal name, Vandal Blackfist. Vandus and his retributors were tasked in holding the base of the gates. At this point, there are just ruins, as the rest of his retinue were doing their job of opening this side of the gate. And yeah, then chapter 5, there is a lot of fighting in here. Stormcasts are vastly outnumbered, but they only have to hold for so long. As soon as the gates are open, they will get reinforcements. But the Realm Gate's seals are very strong, as Sigmar himself made them. You might ask yourself now, why the Realm Gates? Because it is possible to send Stormcasts to other realms from Azyr, but it is incredibly difficult, and they can just be sent in very small numbers. Then we are in chapter 6. Cool does not know of Realm Gates at this point and wonders why his enemy is so focused on destroying the ruins, but knows that he has to stop them because they don't attack ruins for nothing. They have a plan. And he also remembers a clan of people he fought many years ago. People that he remembers because of Vandus and the similarities between Vandus and the leader of those people. Skullbrand, with his banner, summons the realm of chaos into reality, so a lot of blood and brazen things, so brass-colored metal and so on, because Khorne. More fighting, showing off skills and abilities. Then the Realm Gate is being opened by the prosecutors, and the legions of Stormcast Eternals are able to reinforce the outnumbered survivors. Chapter 7, Cool, seeing what the runes really are, remembers more of his past. Vandal Blackfist's clan was named the Direbrands, because at this point he remembers that his enemy back then was Vandal, so the both of them are connected for a while. But now Vandus, then Vandus was pulled away by Sigmar before the two of them were able to fight one another, and Corgus was furious at the lost opportunity of a great duel, because that would have been the 8th skull he would have needed. But even the gift of Grizzlemore by Khorne did not soothe him. He was still furious. Because for Khorne it was still, hey, the dude left, I don't care, here, take this Fleshhound. So then, more fighting. Wendys knew that there are now other Stormcast warbands all across the realms, so Hysh, Shyish, Gairan, and Ulgug, and the one I forgot right now, doesn't matter. Yeah, they want to open more realm gates to Azyr, as the armies of Sigmar want to reconquer everything that was taken by Chaos. Then more fighting. Khul and Ionis are meeting on the battlefield, and while fighting they of course have to talk. And Corgus Khul is wondering why Ionis' soul is a little bit different than the other ones, because when he calls out for Sigmar, it's a little bit different. Because we know that Ionis Cryptborn is a very special person for Sigmar. Yeah, then a little bit more fighting. Vandus and Khul meet on the battlefield. Vandus was called the one who ran by his clanmates, as they were tortured by the Cornets, as no one knew what happened to him, because back then this was not a common thing that people are being yoinked out of existence back to Azyr. But yeah, and now of course the both of them are talking again. More fighting. Khul has been defeated, but before Vandus can finish his foe, he's being struck by a vision of the future. Then chapter 8, the Godhide was shattered and is in full retreat. The Stormcasts are defending the Realm Gate. Vandus and Ionis are having a moment together and talk about the future of the campaign. They find mortal survivors who are not tainted by chaos and listen to their stories. And Vandus promises them that they are the end of the pain and the beginning of hope. So the first step is done. The Age of Sigmar has begun. Yeah, as I've said, this is not a long story. This is a rather short book, but it still took a while to collect everything because I still have to go through the story. I'll try to implement as many details as possible in here, but I don't want to make the videos too long. So as the other books are, well, a little bit larger than this one. So yeah, the first video of our Age of Sigmar Chronicles is done. The first steps into this big project are here. I wanted to do this for so long, and now finally I've taken the heart and, well, we're going through this. We're going to conquer everything. Almost everything. I'm not going to be able to do everything, but as much as possible. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm focusing on Age of Sigmar and discarding a little bit of 40k. 40k is only going to be the things that are going to be really, really interesting. But yeah, please let me know what you think of all of this. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, please remember to do all the YouTube stuff, because sending buttons is not only fun. Why? Because that way we can build a bigger community and talk more Warhammer almost every day. But until then, have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, bye, bye.